Leave your best comments below for a chance to be featured. Parents of Reddit, what was your "oh god, I've raised a monster" moment? I firmly believe my eldest is a sociopath. There's lots and lots of things that make me believe it, but since there's not exactly a black and white test, there's no way to prove it. He has no conscience and hasn't since he was old enough to feel guilt, as far as I can tell. He is 30, twice divorced for beating his wives, and totally ignores his daughters whilst giving everything possible to his son. I blamed myself for years, but my younger two are so different than my oldest, I just don't know if it's my fault or not. Not the mum, but the aunt. My sister's older girl is a saint, but the little one is a psychopath, and my sister and brother-in-law indulge every crazy behaviour of hers. One of the worst was last year when one of my sister's urethra broke and she had to get a tube from her kidney out of her body and to a bag, while said urethra healed. She was pretty ill and was in the hospital for a bit more than a month. Anyways, second night she's back, little shit pulls the tube out of my sister's kidney, requiring her to get an emergency surgery. Little shit's excuse? She knew doing that would hurt mummy. But she, my sister, was getting so much attention from daddy since she got home. Attention she, little shit, deserves more. The worst part is that my sister and brother-in-law thought that was cute. Shaking my head. The crazy part is that my older niece would have never gotten away with something like that, so I don't really get why they spoiled the younger one so much. I know she's my niece, but I just can't see past those behaviours and like her. She's 6 by the way. My 5-year-old was eating some chocolate and I told him not to get any on the floor because Sadie, my family's dog, would eat it. Him, then she'll die? Me, yeah. Him, Mommy, I thought you didn't like Sadie. Me, well yeah, I don't. Him, and you don't want her to die? Me, well, you can dislike someone, but that doesn't mean you hate them enough that you want them to die. Him, oh, so it's okay if you don't like someone, you don't have to kill them or anything, right? Me, right? Him, oh, okay, thanks mummy. Had he just been going around expecting to kill people he doesn't like all the time? I'll never know. When my son decided, in the grocery store parking lot, that it would be fun to scream, "You're not my mummy! Where's my mummy? You're not my real mum!" He had this evil smirk on his face as I panicked and tried to explain what could happen if someone heard that. He started yelling it louder. When I was play arguing with my 7-year-old and she said she wished she was dead like my miscarried baby. Fucking savage and a brat. Years ago, my wife and I had a very heated argument. Our daughter overhears us and comes into the room just as things hit their peak. My wife rushes into the bathroom crying. I'm left sitting on the bed feeling low, listening to my wife sob on the other side of the door. Our daughter looks up at me with a smile and says, "Mummy's crying," and proceeds to laugh loud enough for Mum to hear. And with that, I was in trouble for something entirely new. He told me that pouring hot water on Daddy would be so funny. When my daughter was much younger, she and my ex's son talked at great length about how fun it would be to chop me up, cook my body, and throw me away. Probably when our 13-year-old decided to steal $200 that was hidden in my desk 1 week before Christmas. He then spent it all in one day on candy and yelled at us for confiscating what was left of it. He also told us it was our fault for leaving money in the house. To confirm that he is a horrible person, he told his mum that he doesn't like seeing anyone else happy, which is why he broke his 1-year-old brother's things. My mum found out her lack of parenting with my brother went wrong when he tried to choke me out for accidentally kicking him. I don't even remember being choked, but apparently it was so bad he had to go to anger management and therapy for 3 years. My 3-year-old daughter deliberately screaming to wake up her 4-month-old sister for 5 hours during a long car ride. Not the parent, but my mum told me that when she was pregnant with me, my half-brother tried to convince her to swallow a steak knife so that it would cut me up and she would have an abortion. Then when I was I think 7, he turned on the shower, put on a movie for me and my sister and snuck out while he was supposed to be babysitting to go pick up his girlfriend in my dad's car, which he then wrecked. In his adult years, he's beaten a Jack Russell Terrier puppy to death and at one point tried to commit suicide by downing a bottle of melatonin. There's more, but I don't think anyone will believe me as it is. I've been asked multiple times to name other things he's done. Here's what I had replied elsewhere. That's not his only car-related stupidity. He also had to go to the hospital after missing a jump trying to car surf in the church's parking lot. And when he got his inheritance from his biological father, about $60,000, he spent most of it on a 72 Charger, then paid even more to have some ridiculous custom engine put in. His family was in desperate need of a place to live, and when they got evicted, his car still didn't have seats. Other stuff off the top of my head. He went to jail for pulling a gun on an undercover cop that had pulled him over. He fed his babies Mountain Dew, literally just poured the stuff from the 2-litre bottle into the baby bottle. He was expelled from high school for peeing in the water fountain. He smashed a Mario All-Stars car because he couldn't beat Mario 2. He bought a CDI at launch. His wife has cheated on him so many times that he's decided that he can just try to pick up any girl he wants. He's not managed to cheat on her yet. He took HGH and it made him lose his neck. He and his wife stole the rental jukebox from their failed business but then immediately broke it. He cut his kids off from seeing their grandmother because she took my side after he refused to pay me $50 for fixing his laptop, which I had agreed to do in front of other family members. His wife lied to the cops and had them at my door asking if I had stolen it. Their children told the police officer that they had agreed to pay me and never did. Oh, I almost forgot to mention, when his biological father, not mine, we share a mum, died and left him around $60,000, he wanted as much of that money as possible, so he decided to skimp on the funeral and have him cremated. His first attempt was to have the body driven to a pet crematorium, because that was the lowest price he and his wife could find online.